Today, we're going to be reviewing the NTRON 2000 Expert Advisor. This looks like part of the family of kind of sketchy bots which relies a bit too heavily on AI claims. So we can see that the developer here is Mr. Konstantin Frizy, and if we go through the sales page, we can see that apparently it's relying heavily on news, sentiment, and order blocks. And then if we keep going through it in a bit more detail, he's saying once again that unlike conventional EAs, this one is using intelligent market access models and real-time data and context-based analysis. So anytime you see like a ton of jargon which is just being dumped on a page, typically that's not a great sign. It means that most likely it's trying to mask a fairly simplistic history reader or some sort of grid martingale with the illusion of complexity. So here it's saying that it's using a sentiment analysis using GPT-5. So realistically you can do this. I have done this myself, and it's actually not that challenging to do that. Whereas essentially you can just take a web request, so like MT5 has a library to allow web requests, and send one to any sort of like various neural network API, like GPT-5 would work perfectly well, and you could then essentially get the actual information. So all of that is very doable. What is super weird here is that order book imbalance. So like, unfortunately, you really don't have order book information on CFDs. Because unless he has like DOMs, like direct market access, or like it's probably not super doable, because like you'd need to actually have the order book. And like with CFDs, you don't have an order book because like you're essentially trading against your broker, and it's just like whatever price feed your broker gives you. You don't really have a depth of market as you would with futures or stocks. So that's obviously complete bullshit, because like realistically there's nothing there. Synergy effect, why the combination is useful. So yeah, that also doesn't really make much sense. So like he's using both contemporary analytical approaches, and it gives you like this amazing results apparently. And as we can see, like clearly the MyFX looks totally fake. If you had something that would give you 1,000% returns with the perfect straight backtest, you probably wouldn't sell that for $4.95. And the reviews here look like really fake too. For whatever reason, they seem to be in just about every different language. We have one in English. Let's check these guys out to see if they've done many reviews in the past. Well, they've been around for a while, and they seem to be verified, but still, like, it just looks sketchy to me. Most likely he's paying them or giving them some sort of additional EA to actually make a review. If we look at the signal, he's deposited a minuscule amount of money, or not minuscule, but he's deposited a very small amount of money, and he's only made a handful of trades, most likely with an enormous stop loss, and that shows us absolutely nothing, because like you could literally just start 10 signals all with $200 and just see what happens. So yeah, it's completely fake so far. Like there's really nothing of interest here. Like I ran a back test, and like clearly as expected, it's totally fake, right? We're turning $10,000 into $2 million over the span of a bit over a year, and the trades seem like essentially perfect, trading essentially a mean reversion strategy. He's primarily shorting for some reason. Yeah, he's actually, no, it's around 50-50. And I guess some are going long in the direction of the trend. Some here, those are longs too actually. Some are short despite the fact that you're in a trend. Anytime you see this kind of like almost perfect mix of trades, some long, some short, likely no rhyme or reason, it's probably just a history reader. Yeah, this is like clearly fake, guys, right? If you see something that looks like this, to move my head real quick, that's obviously not a real bot. Like nobody's going to sell you something which can turn 10 grand to $2.5 million. Like this is almost like believing in the tooth fairy. It's just not going to happen. So yeah, guys, it's fake. Let's run ourselves a visual back test to see a bit more. I don't even know what else to say in this video, because like realistically it's just so bad. Like there's not really much else to say. And the classic like MT5 trick of having this beautiful visual is also a classic which we usually see with these kinds of scam bots. If you can't have a strategy, you might as well make it look pretty, because it kind of obscures the lack of substance behind it. And then if we look at the inputs, he does claim to have an API key. So I guess this is kind of masking it. Like he's saying that because it's using sentiment analysis, there must be AI being used, and a common kind of thing that these bots do, the really bad ones, is that they don't actually even give you a spot to put an API key. Then you know for sure it's fake, because if you can't even use a key, then like obviously it's not using a real use of AI. However, here, yeah, it's like, I still doubt if it's even actually making a web request. You might be able to pop in a key, but I doubt that it's actually doing anything noteworthy. Particularly like O1 is an incredibly expensive model, or at least it was. So it's probably just like some sort of fake use of APIs. I'd actually be curious if you were to put a real OpenAI key in here and then just check the logs, does it actually make web requests? My guess would be no, and then it's just like a blatant history reader, but maybe to give it the benefit of the doubt, it actually does. So guys, this is a terrible bot. Don't buy it. Maybe it does trade, but we have no idea if there's a real strategy behind it. It's a classic MQL5 rug pull. You just put something out there with a perfect backtest, and some people kind of fall for it and buy it to make a few bucks, and eventually in like 2 weeks it's going to be gone. So yeah, we've seen this a million times. Don't buy it. It's probably not great. You can spend your money on better bots. Cheers guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. I'll see you in the next one.